mowers, so they got ahead of us some. But this is a flail mower, and it does a nice job of mowing the weeds flat. I'd like to come through here and check. Not all varieties produce Breba, but we have a lot of them with Breba on them. And I think it's about now that they're past the stage where they drop off if they don't persist. So our mower is all set, so it's easier to mow off to the right-hand side. And so we make 2 passes, and here I'm finishing up this row. Okay, I'm off the tractor now, so it's not so noisy. So I finished mowing the fig orchard. From an earlier video, I commented that we pruned the first 2 rows of our back hard. We hadn't kept the size down to the size we like for several years. It was a big job, and I think it's a multi-year job. We did 3 of the 7 rows. These 2 rows and the last row, which was interplanted. This one tree I commented too, I left this Bordeaux Blanca Ramada tree here because it's shading a albino branch. Basically, it was variegated at one time, but now it's all white and the leaves get sunburnt. But you can see now the Breba crop on some of the figs. This might be Lampera Preta. I'm not positive of that. I don't have all the tree locations memorized. I have a lot of them memorized though. So there's a good Breba crop on this tree. These are Figo Preto. I know they don't grow real big for us, but we have a grafted tree of it that grows real well. And this is a Black Madeira. I'm speaking Portuguese there. Madeira is how we say it in English, but Madeira in Portuguese. And this one here is not grafted. It was planted or propagated in 2012, I believe, and this tree is a grafted one of the same age. It's much larger, Black Madeira. I'm not going to show you all the trees, but pass on through here. Here is Berzosote Greece. It produces a lot of Breba. We could have sold more cuttings of this. We sold out of this, but by the time we got to the point where we were sold out, the buds were pushing, so we couldn't prune anymore. We go down here. Another tree with lots of Breba. These trees here, 7 trees in a row, pretty much for some reason have never grown that well for us. You know, we need to prune these trees back hard. You see, this is Taro here, I think, right? Domenico something or other, I can't remember the name, but it produces lots of very large Breba. I think the largest we had is over 200 grams, but a friend had posted a photo, I think, of a 380 gram Breba. But when they're that large, it's good for a home grower, but it doesn't ship very well when it's that large. It'll suffer from its own weight. These trees here, this is the last row, and we did prune this row hard. People frequently post questions asking, and I've answered it numerous times, so I'll try to remember the spacing of our trees. There's 20 feet between the rows, and 6 of the rows, they're spaced 16 feet apart. This was my last row here, and after I ran out of room, I interplanted, and so those are 8 feet apart. Right here is a tree where we have some duplicates here, and I cut those down. I don't need the duplicates now. We've gotten these other trees large enough where they produce enough cuttings and enough fruit for us, so we don't need those. So I've removed some of the duplicates that we have in the orchard. Anyway, that's an update of our orchard. Today is April 24th. We've had warm weather. We were at 86, 87 degrees earlier in the week, and today is just in the 60s. So quite variable, but hopefully it'll warm back up and get going. Thanks for watching.